So I want to comment on this like with a video because I commented as well, but most people go in and they get a TSH run and they are told that they have low thyroid function. And my guess is it's like 99% of people, because that is what the docs are telling them. That's what I keep getting told, even though my T4 is in the optimal range, not the normal range, it's in the optimal range. And my T3 is also in the optimal range. Not that my T3 really has anything to do with my thyroid anyway, because only 20% of it is produced by the thyroid. The rest of it's produced elsewhere in the body. But when they measure my TSH, it's low. And so they're like, we need to put you on Synthroid, which is T4, which is what the thyroid actually produces. So yes, if someone is overproducing T4, they should have a lower TSH, technically. And if they are underproducing T4, they should have an elevated TSH, because then the pituitary gland should be telling the thyroid, hey, you need to make more of this. And so we're sending more thyroid stimulating hormone to you. That's also the basis for the research study that Yale Medicine published in, I think it was either March or July of 2023. I looked it up again today because somebody told me I was wrong and Yale Medical didn't even exist. Wow. They said that because most people never get a full thyroid panel done, they are inappropriately 90% of the time prescribed levothyroxine or Synthroid, which is T4. If Yale School of Medicine is saying that we are inappropriately prescribing a drug 90% of the time, and I can tell you that 80% of the people who walk through my door or come on a consultation with me are on that drug, something's wrong. I mean, obviously something's wrong, because otherwise we wouldn't be talking about this, and we wouldn't have people who were on thyroid medication who still couldn't control weight, fatigue, mood disorders, etc., right? But what my doctors keep telling me is that because my TSH is low, my thyroid is underperforming. It's the same thing that my mom was told for 4 decades. It's the same thing that my sister was told for 5 years before she just finally told her doctor, I don't think you know what you're talking about. Test the other stuff. It's the same thing that my client who has Hashimoto's was told. Her thyroid was actually working fine. She just had an autoimmune disorder, and her pituitary gland was underperforming. It's the same thing that my best friend was told, was that your TSH is too low, so we need to put you on Synthroid. But I think the even bigger problem is, if it comes back that your TSH is low, your T4 is low, your T3 is low, and the whole system is just underperforming. And we know that it takes selenium, iodine, magnesium, zinc to make sure that the thyroid functions optimally. And we can measure all those things in the blood. Why are we not measuring them? Oh, but wait. Why can't a man get tested for those, but women can't? So basically what I'm saying is, pretty much anyone running any kind of thyroid test is probably wrongly prescribing medication and wrongly diagnosing their patients. And it's completely possible, because I see it all the time, for someone to have an underperforming pituitary gland, to have their T4 in range, but to have their T3 be a little bit low. And a lot of the T3 being low has to do with like when I look at the stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, this person's got leaky gut. Has a lot to do with performance of the gut, and then a lot to do with performance of the liver. So if I have a woman who comes into me and she's got normal T4, TSH is a little bit low, T3 is a little bit low, and she's complaining of bouts of constipation to diarrhea, especially around her cycle. She breaks out with acne around her cycle. She has severe mood swings around her cycle. I'm like, oh, this woman's liver isn't working properly. Let's clean out the liver and see what changes. And sure enough, the T3 corrects itself. T4 is still doing what it's supposed to do, but they also feel like a normal human being around their monthly cycle. In Western medicine, we've cut the body up into 88 specialties. It's one ecosystem. I am one human. And I need all of this ecosystem to function optimally in order to have optimal health. And when you send somebody to 30 different doctors in the period of 2 months, and they are overprescribed or underprescribed or wrongly prescribed a medication by each individual one, and no one's paying attention, we have another problem.